Welcome to a brand new series on the channel starting in the year 2052, following on from our Build a Nation which is run throughout Football Manager 2024. We have dropped down the league to take over the biggest club in Norway, judging off their league titles. Now this club is now in the second tier, battling to survive, and are now a semi-professional football club. Now, can you guess the club before we go on to the next screen? Make sure you put in the comments. Make sure you also comment below who you are managing currently in Football Manager, as well as obviously dropping a like and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any of this content going forward. But let's jump forward then. Go into the game screen. Look, rebuild a former giant world. So welcome to Rosenberg. They are now a semi-professional club in the second tier of Norwegian football, and we have dropped down from only a few months ago playing in the Champions League final as manager of Lillestrøm. We are now dropping down to rebuild this former giant. So Rosenberg have confirmed today the appointment of Bram Ellison as their new manager. We've won the Champions League with Egerton. We've won the Europa League with Lillestrøm. Runners up in the Champions League with Lillestrøm. We are now here in Rosenberg. So first off, we've seen here they are expected to avoid relegation, which it gives us some hope that we can achieve something here. And here we are. Ellison takes charge of Rosenberg. Okay, so let's see what's what. First off, supporter profile and social media followers of 338,000.9. So always nice to know we have a good supporter base with 7,500 season ticket holders in the second tier, which is great. Supporters want us to develop players using the club's youth system, play attacking football, play entertaining football, play high tempo pressing, possession, and be competitive against Molde if we come up against them, as well as avoiding relegation from this second tier. So where are we currently then? We are sitting in 11th place. Won 9, drew 5, lost 9, with 32 points. So we are quite far clear of 14th, but we are not out of the woods yet, shall we say. Now what I would say is we are only 4 points from the playoffs. Now, financially, we have 1.9 million in the bank, and we are currently spending 4,000 over our wage bill. So in terms of how our backup teams, etc., are doing, our B team play in the 4th tier, and they are battling for promotion just behind Sarpsborg. And they've played 16 games of their season so far, and our under-19 are really struggling. We are 6 points adrift of odds with not so many games left, so kind of like in the Build a Nation with Lillestrøm, we ended up going down in our first season after taking over with our under-19s. Could that be happening with Rosenberg also? Now, one concerning thing is how small our under-19 squad looks. And our B team as well does not have many players. And when we go to our first team here, not much better. Now, one thing I have noticed straight away is we have 2 players on loan, both foreign players, but they are both also earning £6,000 a week. And when we have 4,000 over our wage bill, maybe them 2 players need to be let go first off before we do anything. Okay, so we are pretty much 1 day in as manager. We have released a couple of players who are on very high wage, who are on loan, and this is how our squad is looking at the minute. Now, you can see we do have a few players down here, but at the minute, we are looking very short of people. And I will give a quick shout out to Juan Pablo Martinez Figueroa, Rodolfo Pereira Lima Torres, and Dan Finch. Now, you guys are the members of this channel as well as my patrons. Now, if you do want to be in Football Manager as one of my patrons or members on YouTube, where you can subscribe, etc., below the video, there is an option to join. You become a monthly member. You pay a subscription. I think it's like the options I've put, I think, are like $1, $5. Same on Patreon. And if you do join that, you do get to be within my series I create. So these guys are going to be part of our journey. So let's have a look at our starting 11 that I'm currently thinking about using. So first off, we have a goalkeeper on loan currently from Red Star, Denis Mujkic. We're only paying him £90 a week, and he does look a very solid goalkeeper. At right back, also on loan from Red Star, is Ama Sujic. Now, not a world beater, but we really are struggling at this point. Marius Tanderberg is my current option at central defence. I think he's a fairly decent central defender, alongside Juan Pablo, who is a young academy player, 17 years old, and I do think he has potential to be a very, very good player long term. And then alongside them is Mateus Guerini, who is an experienced left back. Can play right back as well. He is right footed, but he's uncomfortable playing there. In defensive midfield, we have Lars Johan Niesveen, who is a decent player, 25 years old, came through the academy. Then alongside him is another academy player in Rodolfo Pereira Lima Torres. Defensive midfielder, 18 years old, like I say, academy player, hopefully will be with us for many years. Then we have a former Egerson academy player, Nikolai Vesterheim. Now, he does want to leave us due to the club getting relegated, and we are still in transfer window, so hopefully we hold on players like that, but you never know. On the right wing, we have Joe Peter Ostigard, who came in from Valerenga. This is his first season at the club. I think he's a very decent looking player, 30 years old. On the left wing is Noah Anderson on loan from AIK. 32 years old. I don't think we'll end up keeping all of him. He's on quite a high wage at AIK. And if we try to sign him, he's going to want a decent wage. And, well, we are a semi-professional club here now. And then up front is Dan Finch, 17 years old, good academy prospect. I do think he could do well for us. Never played a game for the first team. Well, welcome in at the deep end. Then on the bench, we have a couple players here. I mean, we have Jeffrey Diallo, is a prime example, 29 years old. He's wanted, he wants to leave. We're probably going to move him on for about £1 million. And we've got Sindra Dahl, whose contract has run out. Try to renew it. Now, this is where the issues come in. We have a lot of players who are on full-time contract. Now, the issue we have is the club has gone to semi-professional. Now, when you have all them players on full-time deals and you try to offer them a semi-professional contract, they are not interested because it comes up and says, we can't offer a deal which is going to be better than the one they have, so they don't want to negotiate. Now, an amazing contract we've got here is Dan Finch is currently on nothing, okay? Wage after reaching 25 league games in his contract, we've agreed a £1 a week contract if he plays 25 league games. Now, I don't know who negotiated that deal, but they have got an absolute gem. So we're paying him nothing, and he gets given £1 a week after 25 games. I'm planning on using this guy as our first choice striker. Now, you can see financially, after removing a couple of players who were on high wages on loan, we're now down spending 27,000 from the 36, so we're under our wage budget now. We are predicted to be 1.95 million in the red by the end of the season, which is a bit upsetting. Like I say, the club is now semi-professional, which is not amazing, but hopefully it does give us a foundation and the ability to rebuild this club and turn this club around, because 27 top flight titles and 12 cups, they are the most successful club in Norwegian history, and that was why we had to step away from Lillestrøm to rebuild such a former giant in RBK and try to take them back to the top. My dream is before FM25 to win top flight title with this club. Now, when you look at how this club is currently and how the likes of Lillestrøm, how I've left them just spending 55 million on a player in the last episode, we've got a lot of work to do. We have got a lot of work to do. There's players in this club like Cilia who don't even want to be here. They just want to go. They just don't want to be here. So there's a lot of work that we need to do. There's a lot of very average talent in this club, in this squad, in this whole Rosenberg as a whole, which is not good enough for the level. Now, my hope is that my manager, my reputation, my history. When you look at my job history, which has involved Champions League, Europa Leagues at Egerton and Lillestrøm, can my history as a manager take this club back up? Can I motivate them players to go back up? Can I motivate this team to be successful? Can we create something here at Rosenberg and emulate what we did at Lillestrøm? I would say when we went into Lillestrøm in the Builder Nation, they were very, very poor. They had a squad which made no sense. And within a couple of years, we started to piece together a very successful team. And I believe we could do the same here at Rosenberg. Now, it starts at a totally different point. The fact that this club is now semi-professional. The fact that none of the players want to negotiate contracts because they are currently on full-time deals and they don't want to drop to semi-professional. We are starting at a place where we didn't have to even go and experience with Lillestrøm. We did start as semi-professional with Egerton, but we had a very quick rise with them. Can we have a rise with Rosenberg? Now, they have won the last 2 games, so we do come into a team who's won a few games, picked up some points. They obviously have had a very poor season as a whole with a lot of defeats. But we don't have many games to turn this around. We've got 7 games. Arendal at home. Then we've got Brino away. Junkeren at home. We've got Ranheim away. Asker home. Kongsvinger away. And Raufoss away. Now you can see Ranheim are labelled, and that's because we actually have some decent affiliates here. So we have a club in Serbia. We have a club in Bosnia. We have a club in Czech Republic. We have Ranheim here in Norway. We have Sotra here in Norway. And Waterford in the Republic of Ireland. So we have some decent affiliates and maybe we can dig into going into the new season. The question is, where will we be at? Will we be a mid-table second tier side looking to continue to build? Will we be a second tier side who is battling relegation and nobody wants to join us? We put a lot of our hope in young players. We are putting a lot of our future on the pitch now because we don't have the players to facilitate a strong 11 now. The next episode, we are going to see how I've settled in. The next episode, we are going to see what changes I've made, if any. I'm guessing they're all just going to be selling players. I don't know who we can sign. Maybe a loan or two. Maybe Lillestrøm have a couple of players we can look at bringing in. I don't know what we are going to do. But hopefully, you are going to enjoy this journey with me as we ride out into the sunset of Football Manager 2024 with this rebuilding journey with Rosenberg, the fallen giant of Norwegian football, of world football. That's better type.